Hello, how's it going? My name is ManteXD, and lately I've been watching a lot of people do these videos about what they would like to see change. And you know what? I'm gonna hop into that train and get me two tickets because today with me is Pride, and today we're gonna be talking about Skellige. How you doing, Pride?
Hey Monte, I'm doing pretty good. Hey guys, happy to be here. Got a lot of stuff to be fixed with Skellige, in my opinion.
Indeed. Look, let's just start right away talking about the Skellige. Like first cards, we can go through the collection just our way down. For example, a lot of people have been talking about the leaders. Could you tell us a little bit of how would you like to see the leaders change, or maybe they don't need a change? How do you feel about them?
Yeah, absolutely. I would like to see some changes in crack. I don't know what exactly, but I feel like the wounding archetype that we have seen before in closed beta has pretty much died since open beta. So maybe changing crack and crate in a certain way where he would favor that play style would be something nice. But to be honest, I haven't given much thought about the leaders yet. But something in that direction would be nice because I feel like Crack right now just favors the whole Morkvarg play too much.
Yes, I totally agree with you on that aspect of it there. Now, what about the other two? Do you feel that the other two are actually up to par, or do you feel like anything else has to be changed or added?
I think both of the leaders are fine. I just think that the way the current meta is working, Crack is too favored. That's why you see him being played a lot more. You still see some Bran, but and Harold, his I think his is quite strong. It's just that like the way when I look at this card, okay, when I looked at it for the first time, I'm talking about Harold. You think this card goes very well with X-Men, perhaps, or even Shield Maidens. Like you can use the last tick to activate the Shield Maidens. But given how the meta is working and that bears are so strong and they will activate our Shield Maiden, and Frost is so strong as well, and they're always buffing our X-Men. I think that's why this card doesn't see any play at all. But I like them. I think both other leaders are fine.
Yeah, I actually really kind of agree with you right there. Sometimes actually Herald the Cripple can get a lot of value, like way too much value. Well, I wouldn't say way too much, but I would say a fair amount of value because we have to word ourselves carefully right here. Gwent is something that our viewers are very passionate about, and I don't want to mislead anything here. So, I'm pretty sure that you agree with me that Priestess, they do their job, they're pretty well. So we will have to move into the Axemen. Whoa boy. The Axemen, bro. Can you talk to me a little bit about them?
Yeah, absolutely. I love the card concept. When I first got into Gwent, my first deck that I tried to make by myself was an X-Men deck. And the one thing that I would really, I don't, I don't know. I think the problem, this card is problematic right now simply because of Frost. This is where the problem comes from. So there are two ways to fix it, in my opinion. Either you make it so they don't grow when weather is damaging your enemy, so it has to be another kind of damage, either done by units or by special cards, such as Stemos Tremor, but definitely not weather, okay? And when you fix that, I think the card as a whole is going to be much more fair or less problematic. And then, if you do that, you can also buff their base strength, and I think they're going to be completely fine.
I see. Yeah, a lot of people were actually suggesting to do something with the armor, but overall, I do feel that the card needs some kind of rework, and you know,
Yeah. The problem for me is especially with Biting Frost. They get so big because of Biting Frost, and there isn't much you can do about it because you can clear it a few times, but you can always have more weather than you can have clears. So they're kind of gonna grow. You can always stack against them, but they're just a very oppressing card as a whole.
Okay, and then let me tell you something. Let's talk about being impressive here, and let's go to oh boy, careful because everybody right now is gonna get lit. Let's talk about the Shields Maiden. Oh my God, can you tell me something? Like, why do you think they're so damn strong?
I think they're it's how much power they can put at once while also thinning your deck and sometimes even denying some points from your opponent because you can remove cards with them. Um, I like the concept though. I think Skellige needs some kind of thinning. I just think they gotta lose the veteran tag and they can be three all game. They're still quite powerful, right? They can play for what? For 15 if they're three and then they do 6 damage. So they would still be good enough. They would see play. I just think with the veteran tag it's a bit too much.
Yeah, I keep comparing them to like they're a better version of Witchers. I keep saying that they're bronze number one, so they don't use your silver spots, and at turn three, you know, the five plus the damage is pretty much a better version of Witchers, on my personal opinion. Uh,
You gotta keep in mind that they also have more what is it called? Mulligan, because you can just mulligan them away. While as Witchers, you cannot really blacklist them, so you can blacklist Shield Maidens a lot easier.
I like that you're on the spot right there. I actually didn't even think about that, but yes, I would like to see a change to the Shield Maiden. Now, there has been a recent change to the Queen's Guard, so I really don't see anything else that over there that I would like to add. Is there anything that you would like to add on the Queen's Guards?
No, I think they're fine as they are right now.
All right. So as we scroll down a little bit on Skellige, you're on par with me. So is there any card that you would like to speak about? Maybe perhaps even the Grand and Great Rider, or for the discard, or any other card?
I like all of those cards. I think in general they've they've they were problematic before, right? Like the Hunter was problematic. The Light Longship was problematic, but I feel like that currently they're all pretty good. I think our next stop here worth talking about is the bear.
Oh my god. Okay, guys, everybody, get your torches and your pitchforks. Savage Bear is next. So let's talk about Savage Bear. Savage Bear. What's up with Savage Bear, and what would you like to see changed?
Yeah, there are a few things which I would like to be. I don't know. I think they're not that bad, but they're very annoying to deal with. And perhaps just make down their strength to 5. That might be enough. That would require some testing, probably done on PTR. But I don't think you can nerf them too much either. I think having them at 5 would be the right, just the right spot. I think, but I'm not sure. They might deserve more nerfs.
I would like to actually change a little bit, perhaps, of the activation, because there has been like a situation, you know, when the Savage Bear actually hits the leftover units. You know what I mean? The ones that were
Oh
the round. So perhaps a little bit with that. Just I might be
yeah,
nitpicking at this point, but yeah.
no, absolutely, I agree. It's just that in my eyes, that's a glitch. It's not intended. No, like this is not supposed to happen. That's just not right. So yeah, that has to change. And for example, something that I also think is when you're playing NR and you would get a blue stripe commando from your deck for playing a unit with the same strength as him, the bear is gonna deny that. And in my opinion, that should not happen. That's just wrong. So
Yes.
basically, the damage has to come last, and when the card is going to the graveyard, the bear has to go first, so it doesn't damage anything else.
Yes, I completely agree with you on that aspect. But you know, once again, a lot of people were saying go to 4, but the reality of it is, I personally believe it's not just because you said it, but I personally believe that 5 would be a good medium to go at. So
Yeah, like it has been at 4 before, right? And it
Yeah.
just didn't much play, so I don't know. It was still being used. Just I don't know. I feel like at 4 he's too easy to be removed as well. It's just two weather ticks, so I think the 5 is just the sweet spot for this card. We gotta try, but I think 5 would be perfect.
Yeah. Definitely, there is a card that you might want to speak about because you know you're the guy who likes to try the self wounding. So, what about Berserker Marauders? Is there something that you would like to see, or perhaps they're good, but just the meta is not onto that aspect?
Yeah,
What do you think?
yeah, absolutely. I think I don't know how to fix that card exactly, but I feel like maybe if it was also boosted up by allies, because right now it's just for damage to enemies, maybe it would see more play, but I'm not sure. Because I feel like Skellige is just lacking on that archetype as a whole of self-wounding. And that card could see play, but right now it's just kind of hard to make it work. You just cannot fit it in.
I see. Yeah, that's a really good aspect of that about like Gwent that eventually the way that it is going on you can actually can make a deck about the archetype that you want, and I would like to see those archetypes being valid within the meta.
Yeah, I agree.
Now,
Absolutely.
if we go a little bit lower, which one is the next card that you would like to change, not necessarily change but just talk about and just touch over?
Well, perhaps the work prior. I don't know. I'm talking a lot of changes. Obviously, I don't think you can make all those changes at once and expect the game to be just fine. So those are things that I would be like to change given the current state of the game. But they if you do them all at once, the game's gonna become a whole new mess because it's just so different.
Correct. That's
But
actually a really fair point, and we need to remind our viewers that uh, sometimes the progress of change has to be slow and steady in order to get a really good product. So,
y- y-
sorry for interrupting in that.
yeah, yeah,
Go
yeah,
ahead.
exactly. Like, it's because I was gonna get onto a point that I would also like to see Warcrier losing the weaken effect when it buffs other units, and also losing the veteran tag. So it's gonna like I don't think it will ever be as strong as it was in close beta, where it was like doubling the power of your allies. But at least it would see more play. Because I think that card right now it's pretty damn hard to make it work with skin streamers like Life Coach experiencing with it, and it just doesn't work right.
Yeah, even when it works like at its best, you kind of feel bad because of that weekend. You're like, oh, well, I guess you know.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Well, look, we're about to get into the silver spots. Silver spots, or unless you actually want to talk about the Crown and Crate Warrior. Am I skipping
Uh,
it, or should we go to silver?
Let's go to Silver.
Let's go to silvers. All right. So, our bro Grimace, how you feel about Grimace?
Gramis is fine. The card is strong, but it's not a broken card by any means. I think it's fine.
I actually feel the same way right here with you. Now we go to Sigdrifa, aka. Well, actually, here I'm gonna break the rules and I'm gonna tell you how I feel about it. She's a silver shiny, bro. I mean, like, sure, it doesn't give you armor, but you know what I mean? You know that feeling? So tell me, how you feel about Sigdrifa?
I think the card's fine. Like the shiny point, in my opinion, is just shiny is just too weak. But
Mm,
feel like if you nerf cards like Sigdrifa, then you're gonna start to be damaging Skellige too much, and I think it's a core part of many decks, and I like to have the card there. I think it's interesting, and sure, perhaps a bit too strong, but I still think that she's okay. Like if you start to nerf too much, the whole faction is gonna go downhill. I think Siegfried is fine. Sigdrifa, sorry.
Oh no, totally. This is why exactly you are here to keep me to the ground. Because so me, I would have gone like nerf the 3-5, but you bring a really good point, and maybe Shani is just too weak. Uh, as we go with the silver spots, which one would you like to speak about next?
I think Champion of Champions is a card that has been kind of forgotten because okay, he's the same as he was in closed beta. I don't remember if he started at 5 as well. But nonetheless, the problem with this card is that in the current meta, there is a lot of stuff that can move your units. For example, droners or just dwarfs or the brigades. Those are from Square. So basically, I think this card either needs a rework or it has to be, I don't know. It it's very rare that you're gonna be able to play that card and see it grow. So I think something has to be done about it.
Yeah, and I don't remember where I saw this. Somebody say that they should do a tag called heavy, where you could not actually move the unit. But yes, the reality of it is that yes, you might not move that unit, but then you just have to move another unit towards this row. So still might
Yeah,
not.
yeah, but
Yeah.
I like that idea. I never heard it before because if you do that and then it said it would be so the current description of the card is it will gain 2 power if it is the only unit on the row. So it should be it will get 2 power if it is the only loyal unit on the row, and then everything's fine, right?
Okay, I see. All right. Well, that's another fair point right there. Oh man. Next one. I'm pretty sure that you would like to talk about Color Black Hand. I always say
Uh,
backhand.
yeah.
I'm pretty sure how you feel about it.
Honestly, I don't know. I always felt like the card was fine. I still feel like it kinda is. It becomes a bit too oppressive when you got both Holger and Lugos, like Medved Lugos in your deck, because then you got a lot of high power removal. But overall, I still think the card's fine. It's a bit oppressive. It's quite strong. It plays at least for 10, but I don't know. I wouldn't like to see it being changed. I like the way it is.
Yes, it's one of those cards that it's strong on a nice way, if you know what I mean. It's like at that point where it's a card that is very valuable, but you can play around it. You can actually, it gives you a breathe room. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like it's not too overwhelming.
All right. So, which silver would you like to go next?
Donor for sure. I think donor is quite problematic. I don't know, to be honest. I just dislike that RNG factor, and I think it is like it's that game, that card alone, it can win games. So I
Yeah.
would like to see a change.
If he actually brings the right card to your deck, it's pretty much a struggle for the opponent at that point. It was it's massive. That is, you know,
Yeah,
Gwent has a little bit of RNG. It's a card game after all. You gotta respect that. But this is that kind of RNG that can actually be game breaking, in my opinion. Um, as much as Donor is right now, and the changes that you would like to do, there is one change that I would like to do. Okay, Donor needs to be bold, have a yellow suit, and red gloves. Okay, I don't know. It has to be like that. That just feels good with the artwork. So we can move on. Which one would you like to talk about next?
Skull. I think that's one of the most useless cards in the game.
Feels bad, man. He's
Because,
looking at me funny. He's like, "What the hell? What's going on?"
yeah, I don't know. The card's useless, like, what you gonna do? Are you gonna play a swallow potion on it? Is that the play? I don't know. I don't see it working. I'm sorry. I just dislike the card. I don't know how to make it better. I don't. I usually don't like to give this kind of criticism because usually, if you wanna point out something that's bad, you wanna have an answer to how to make it better.
Of course.
But in this case, I think it's just a rework. Like the very concept of this card just doesn't go well with this specific faction.
I
With
had
that being
yeah.
said, I think it needs a rework. That's it.
I had a little conversation about the Scal before, and maybe perhaps there would be something on the future that might make this work. But for now, I feel that if you're going to commit to Scal, there is just too much commitment that you're gonna do this. Just overall too much.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, so I think you have two good cards next. Tell me, go ahead.
Work.
Oh boy, or bro, more work. What would you like to
Gi-
see done with more work? Or overall,
give
how
him
do you feel?
give him 20 base power. I don't know. The card's really. I think the card's really strong, but it's especially because of crack, right? If we didn't have crack, maybe it wouldn't be as strong. And it's also that the other silvers in this faction, such as Donor, Siegfried, and Decoy, they are often able to make sure that your mark's gonna go throughout all the game while having a decent power. So I think it's just how reliable you can count on this card. Unless you're playing against monsters and they play their succubus, of course, that's a way to answer it, but it's very hard to deny this card as a whole. So
True.
I don't know how to change it. Uh,
Yeah, it's
the
the accessibility of it is what it's kind of like bothers me about it. You know, it's one of those cards that you're like, okay, I'm playing against this guy. He has more work at his disposal at any given point he wants. I think that that's what bothers me. And then if we say, let's change the hero, then the hero might be too weak for other archetypes to work. So maybe more work, a rework, something like that, or mm,
Yeah, I
yeah,
don't know.
small change.
I like more Quark how it is, but I think if cracks changed, more can still see play when you put like ADC in your deck and you can play with it still in a certain reliable way. But I definitely think that right now the way crack is and the way Mork is very strong.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. Is there any other silver that you would like to talk to, or we can jump to the goals?
I think we can jump to the goals.
All right, so we have seen can be changes, and I'm pretty happy with it. Are you?
Um, kind of like the card. Like I think it adds a very interesting aspect to the game. Honestly, it can be frustrating sometimes that you lose just to discard. It reminds me a little bit of closed beta when weather would make all units one power, and then like you're playing a certain matchup and suddenly your opponent plays weather and destroys you when you're so much ahead. Combi can have a similar effect, but there are ways to play around it, and you can also deny it, right? So I think Combi honestly is fine.
Awesome. Um, I'm pretty sure that a lot of people, not just you or me, actually would like to speak about Birna Brand. What would you like to say about Birna Brand?
I think she perhaps need a rework. I don't know. I don't like the card as it is. It was too strong as well in closed beta. That's a completely different card. The way she is now, I've tried her before and I actually dislike it.
Yeah, I tried with Bob Yorn, but Bob Yorn. That we're gonna get there. We're gonna get there as well. So guide me. What changes would you like to see? What other card would you like to speak of on the goal side?
I don't know. I think Hjalmar especially is too strong of a card right now. There are too many ways to kill the giant he spawns. So basically, I don't know. Like if you make the giant stronger, then the card's kind of useless, right? So maybe buff him by 5. I don't know, instead of 10. Or
Um,
lower his
yeah.
base strength. I don't know. Like if you can lower his base strength enough so that the card is somewhat weak, and unless you kill the giant, then at least you make it so you gotta commit something to it, because it's still a 10 strength code. It's not really that bad if you think about it.
I think the
Um,
the renew is the impactful part. Like whenever you fight Yalmar once, I think it's alright, but whenever you find it like twice, it's like oh boy. And
Yeah,
I think that the change has to be to Lord of Moonvik itself, not to Yalmar. Because check this out. So I think that Lord of Moonvik, the very first time that it spawns, should be normal silver, right? But the second one it should be gold. This way, you're just not abusing that thing, but it just becomes a normal gold. You know what I mean?
yeah, I never thought about it, but I do remember that before you could lock the giant, right? Lord of
Yes.
Conflict. Yeah, I also did like that because then you can play a silver lock from your deck and you can stop Hjalmar that way. So
Yeah.
I think maybe that's an interesting choice. I don't know.
Yeah, we're just suggesting. We're just toying around with ideas, but I'm pretty sure you skip one card, bro.
Oh yeah, I know. Let's leave him for that.
Babjorn, how dare you? This card needs to change. Oh my god, please, somebody. He looks so badass, but like, ah. Okay, so tell me about Babjorn. Why he doesn't work? Just tell me why he doesn't work, so maybe we can find out.
I don't know. You gotta lower them to units to 2 power before it even does anything. And it has such a low base strength as well. It's only 6. I don't know, man. Like, it's a new card, right? So I'm
Mm-hmm.
sure that CDPR is still gonna look into it. Like, I have no doubts about that card's not gonna stay as it is.
Yeah, and also,
So,
for example, just saying, the fact that it's killing cards that most likely are going to die naturally because of the meta and how people are playing. It's I think that that's also what takes away from this card. The meta, the way the meta plays itself, is what takes away from this card. Even if if it was harder to deal those extra 2 damage, perhaps he had more value. But
yeah,
it's a card
exactly.
that is gonna die.
Yeah, it's not like it will kill a unit with 2 power or less. It will kill a unit that has already taken damage. So that makes like no sense. I don't know. It's just too weak.
Yeah, I don't know. Perhaps something like a key. You know how badass he looks is doing like a cleave. Perhaps he can do a cleave like a certain amount of times, or over a certain amount of turns he does like a huge cleave, stuff like that. I would like to see something done with Babjorn, but that's for the future and CDPR to figure out. So,
Yeah.
any other card that you would like to see done? We are running out of options. We have Ceres, we have Madman Lugos, and that's pretty much it.
I like those cards. I thought Ceres would be weak at first, but I can see that it is still very playable in certain decks, like Queen's card. And maybe a small strength buff, but I still think the cards is just fine.
Awesome. And with that, we conclude our Skellige journey. Any shoutouts, anything that you would like to tell our viewers?
I'll shout out to the Brazilian Gwent community, as always. Thanks to our viewers, and maybe if they have any suggestions for next videos, anything they want to see, they can always post it in comments, right? And then maybe we can do it.
Keep it civilized. I'm watching you. Yes, you. You, the one that is already typing. I'm watching you. Keep it civilized. All right. Well, thank you so much for being with us. And guys, we're going to be covering other factions pretty soon. Remember, if there is any changes that you would like to put in the comment section, make sure you write them. We watch every single one of our comments. So, see you next time.